Alrighty, I seem to notice some of my political videos get a bit more views, but there's something that, while I don't always make that many of them, there's something that has come to a head. It's not proven yet, it hasn't been announced officially, but there's people who are into memes and they've suddenly realised that if you do a Google search of memes involving Hillary Clinton, they've all been scrapped for the most part in the search results until fairly far in. It's about the third page that the results come up. And it might be the bottom of the third page. People are aware of some of the stuff that is likely looming based purely on the sudden wiping of all this stuff in the search results. Anything to do with Bill and Jeffrey Epstein went a little while ago, only a couple of weeks ago, and now all this Hillary stuff is suddenly disappearing. She's also making a point of trying to appear on television more than she has been previously. She's trying to get in for a few shows and whatnot. There was a theory by a hardline Hillary supporter on Fox News quite a while ago, and I'm talking, more than a year ago, that Hillary was going to swoop in the last minute of the 2020 presidential run and be the one that ultimately gets the nomination for 2020. And they wouldn't do this initially, but they would do it at the last minute. That was the theory that a hardcore Hillary supporter had. And there's a theory going around now that if all of a sudden all the Google search results have been cleaned up and she's making a point of getting on TV more often than not, that due to Joe Biden having a few issues and the fake news trying to cover for him, and those issues are related to a government contract that with the Ukrainian government that his son received with no experience or knowledge of that field that the contract was involving. And the terrible fact that he actually, there's a prosecutor who started looking into that corruption in the Ukraine. And, with all the brilliance of no brilliance at all, he decided to brag on television that he managed to get this Ukrainian prosecutor fired, or he would hold up aid money that the Obama administration had lined up for Ukraine. And instead of just maybe mention this quietly amongst a couple of his aides, he come on TV. He was obviously being interviewed about something else, or they're asking him about something else. And while they were doing that, he just managed to brag about it on television. Well, now the mainstream media is completely trying to cover it up and pretend it's a lie. But not surprisingly, the footage is out there. Big rule of the internet. I don't know what one, but it's one of the 10 commandments of the internet. The internet never forgets. So they reckon because he might be going down, and maybe Warren doesn't have enough prestige, they reckon Hillary's going to try and come back. Yeah, bring it on. I need the laughs. I need the laughs. We've got to make this happen. Alright, we need Hillary. Hillary 2020. I need more coughing fits on stage. I need more blundering around. I need people in my YouTube comments like I had back then telling me that Well, no, you're completely wrong. Donald Trump's not going to win, and Hillary has far more than 200 people at her rallies. And what happened? I've seen photos of Hillary's rallies that showed, oh, I don't know, maybe only 140 people at some of these rallies. And who won? Good job telling me that I had no idea and I was going to be incorrect. Oh, I could just sense it on the wind. I could sense it on the wind that people were just sick of career politicians, and they might decide to get somebody who just hasn't been in politics for 20 years, just to avoid that business as usual, you know, helping out all your family members at getting contracts and all those other nice, you know, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours type shenanigans that happen to these same old politicians that have been promising for years to stop Mexicans running over the border, for years to fix the homeless problem, for years to bring more jobs, and yet all these factories are leaving to go to China. You know, all the same old bloody promises that never come, you know, and people might be a bit over that. So they might decide to go with someone who's a little bit out there, a little bit different, a little bit eccentric, a little bit of a hard-line, bang your fists on the table type person. And that's what they did. But my gosh, we still need Hillary to have another go, because I need the laughs. I just do. I don't know if you've seen some of her health. Well, I mean, I know you all have seen some of her health issues, and whoa, she's not too good. I reckon Bill might make it to 88 or 90, but I don't think old Hillary is going to. Well, I'd be surprised if she'd make it any more than 3 years. I really would be stunned if she's still alive in 4 years. She's really. You might have also seen when she had a little tour. She had a tour in Canada. And I don't know if it went further than Canada. I think it might have gone to a couple other places, and they cancelled the tour. And like, woo, it was remarkable. They had someone there with, you know, a whole heap of pre-screened questions, and it was called A Night with the Clintons. So you'd have this guy asking questions that were fully pre-screened on stage, and you know, he's probably watching for special hand signals from Bill to change the subject, don't ask this one if they suddenly decide that pre-screen question isn't good enough, you know. And Hillary's coughing away. You know, the guy likes Hillary a question, she just starts coughing like hell, and then Bill ends up answering it for her. You know, but the turnout was horrendous. You know, it was like it was hopeless. They sold 7% of tickets with about 3 or 4% attendance, like 3 or 4% of the seats filled, but it was only like a single-digit figure sales as well. You know, because you know, not everybody. Some people buy tickets on the cheap and decide, you know, plans change and well, I can't make it, or there's a blizzard and I'm not driving in the blizzard, or whatever. You know, and. Oh, this, you know, you could, at the last minute, in the last 10 hours, the last 6 hours, you could buy tickets to it. Front row seats, $5. Or $4 or something like that. It was unbelievable. They had been running at $300 to $350. And in there, the guy's filming him. He's obviously paid his $5. He's got like a second row seat or something. And he was filming them, and then he turns around and you can see the joint's empty, you know. It was actually that bad. They just gave up. And, you know, they realised that hiring the venue was costing them more than they're making from the tickets. You know, and they just, you know, or was, you know, too close to be even worth it. And so... So they cancelled the tour, and it shows the amount of interest people have. But don't think that's going to stop political families who have been entrenched in politics for decades. You know, and these too much money, too much ego. And you think Orange Man faces it, well, don't worry, you know, Clinton's even better because she's got denial as well. You know, it's too much money, too much ego, and too much denial, you know. And, yeah, don't be surprised if she does have another go. Oh, it's going to make my day if she does, you know. I'm going to be laughing like fuck, like, we need this to happen just so I can have a good laugh. And not just me, there's going to be plenty of others having a good laugh. She's so far over the hill, it's incredible. But don't think that's going to stop her. You know, the mind is an amazing thing. That was said to me by somebody who had a mental disorder. The mind is an amazing thing, how the trickery and the denial and the ego and the bullshit that the mind makes up, you know. Anyway, I thought that was really worth a mention, so yeah.